those of you that know us, we've been using the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus for several years now, largely because I love the way that it connects into the camera. I hear people all the time talking about sync problems and how do I adjust this when the microphone's out of sync with the camera? And I've just been saying, I don't have that problem because my Rode VideoMic Pro Plus plugs into the camera and both of them come across through a cam link, and I never have a problem with them being out of sync. So that's where we have been, but probably 6 months ago now, I was actually being interviewed on a live, and Owen, my son, works away with me here, was listening in with his headphones, and the other two guys had got podcaster mics right up here in front of them, and Owen kind of went, you really can hear side by side like that a difference between them. And so I've had that niggle in the back of my mind, but I'm quite adamant that I don't want microphones in the shot. I don't want to have, that's not my style or image. I don't want that microphone in shot. And I caught Laura from Shure Microphones on an Ecamm interview once, and she mentioned how that the new Shure MV7 has got this near and far mode. So if you want it up close, you can have it, and that's near mode. But if you want it out of shot, like we're doing here, you can put it in far mode. And in far mode, you can go between 6 and 18 inches is what they suggest. So that means I can have this microphone 18 inches away from me and it should still pick me up well. So that caught my eye, and I'm thinking maybe this is the missing link for me. I get the quality of a podcaster style mic without it being in shot. So I bought one, and I'm keen to show you in a few minutes the difference between these two microphones. So we got the Shure MV7 microphone, and there are 3 different options with the inputs on it. We can use an XLR cable, USB, or with a little bit of a hack, we can use the headphone cable as well. So we tried the XLR microphone. You're hearing it now. This is the sound coming through from the XLR mic. And what we realized is actually it's kind of flat. And the idea really is if you're using an XLR microphone or an output from the mic, you're typically going to be going into a mixing desk. You're going to be doing some EQ over there and playing around with the sound. Is going to come through very flat and unprocessed. But we're all about keeping things simple over here, and I'm not quite ready yet to be putting a mixing desk in front of me. So we struck off the XLR output. And actually, if we were looking for an XLR output, I'd probably be going for the big brother, the Shure SM7B. Okay, so then second option, we had a go with the headphone output. I'm thinking, can we do this? Can we take the headphone out from here with a jack lead, plug it into the camera, into the mic input, and use it that way? And it did improve it, but honestly, plugging it in over the USB cable lets us open up the app, change things around in there, and actually kick in as well to the auto settings. So this is designed really to be used across a USB. So we can hack it and plug it into the camera and sync it up that way, but the audio sounds significantly better when we plug it into USB, and that's the way we're using it. That does come with a delay, and we're only talking about a couple of frames, and when we're recording here at 25 frames per second, it's a very slight difference. And if this was one of our edited videos, I'd be going back going, nope, that's out of sync. And we don't want that in our lives. We don't want it happening in Zoom calls. So how do we deal with this? Well, thankfully for my live streams, Ecamm Live that we use allows me to put a mic delay in there. And I'll show you in this video here how we can do that and sort out that mic delay inside of Ecamm. But that hasn't helped me when I'm on a Zoom call or I'm using it any other way that I wouldn't be going through Ecamm. I've had to then put in another bit of software called Loopback, and now we're getting complicated again. And I just said we like to keep things easy around here. Well, good news. Ecamm have just released a virtual mic, and what it means is that the settings that I'm doing in the Ecamm software, when I'm adjusting this mic delay and getting it synced up properly, now I can turn this into a virtual mic, and whether I'm on Zoom or MS Teams or any other platform, a webinar, maybe I'm turning up as a guest on an interview and I have a box to select a microphone. Instead of me selecting the Rode or the Shure, I now select Ecamm Virtual Mic. It's a fantastic feature, and honestly, I'm all in now on this microphone. We did a live just recently when this came out. You can check that one out up there and just see what we're talking about with this mic delay. It's a fantastic feature. I should probably say as well, if you're not already on Ecamm, there's a link up here. You can take a 14-day trial on it. It's fantastic software, and we've got a whole playlist on YouTube where you can work your way through and get the absolute best out of it. So anyway, that's me talking in theory about these mics and kind of the differences. You want to hear it, right? So as you can see, we've got these mics right in front of me. Now this is where I've been using this Shure microphone. Recently just got this lovely Elgato stand for it that just allows me to push it out of the way. And Owen quite rightly pointed out that normally I've got the Rode mic up here pointing in on me. It's only fair that we put them as close together as we can. And if I bring the tape measure out again, you can see that we're 8-9 inches away from the front of the microphone. So as close in as we can get it without really catching it in view. Let's have a listen to them. First of all, let's have a listen to the Rode microphone. This, as I say, is what I've been using for years. I absolutely love the fact that it plugs into the camera. When I turn the camera on and off, the mic goes on and off. No more sort of coming back to it and finding that the batteries run out. But what do we think to it? What about when I stop? There is a very quiet hum coming out of the lights here. Is that being picked up? And if Owen wouldn't mind just clicking on his keyboard or his mouse for a second, let's hear if we can hear that. And now let's flick across to the Shure microphone and have a listen. So the distance here, hopefully we've got these set up so they sound pretty even in volume. Silence. And then some clicking. Thank you, Owen. I'll find out in a minute what exactly it was clicking over there, but that's really cool to just do that. You know, this is practical stuff, noises that are going on in the room. Can you hear things like that? And I should just point out, you know, I realize that coming up from the bottom here, when I'm doing a tight crop like this in a view, my mouth's at the bottom end of my head. That's why I'm going for this approach rather than dropping the mic above like I have done previously. It does mean it's a little bit more in the way here, but it just gets it a few inches closer, and I think it's worth the trade-off. There's the two mics together. So what do you think to the difference between these two? As we listen to the Rode microphone, I personally feel it sounds more roomy, though I haven't really noticed this when I've been recording. All the videos that we've done for the last few years have been done with this microphone, and I've been absolutely happy with it. And it's not till you then put another microphone like this Shure alongside it that all of a sudden I'm going, oh, I can hear a difference there. And I've got some functions in here. And with the software, the Shure Plus Motive software, not only do this near and far setting and add a few things to it, I can adjust the tone of my voice so I can go from this dark, richer sort of radio voice to a brighter one if I want to, just by flicking around on here in the software. But the idea is I can get this set to where I want, lock that down, and then I don't have to worry about settings when I come back to it. That's what we're all about over here. Now, I'm not going to run through setup in this video. I just wanted to show you that comparison as quickly and easily as possible. The Rode microphone here that we've been using for years, and now this Shure microphone. We're kind of coming out and saying, this is our microphone. I'm going to be now making videos in our Pro Video Academy where we walk through the whole setup of all the equipment that we use. We're now going to be using this Shure mic. Price-wise, they sit pretty much the same, so that has never been an issue. It just really is trying to get the best microphone, and as always, I'm trying to say this is what we're using, and if you want to look and sound like this, then this is the equipment to get. That leads me on to say that this microphone will now be featured in our gear guide as opposed to the Rode. I think you can probably hear why, but I'd love to hear from you. What do you think? Is it as significant a difference? Maybe I could encourage you as well, if you're listening just through maybe your phone speakers, try putting some headphones on, ideally some nice big over-the-ear ones that you can really lock in the sound on this and have a listen yourself. That said, if you are just listening on your phone headphones and you can't really hear a difference in this, well, let's keep that in mind, because if you're making tutorial videos or YouTube videos, maybe your audience also are just listening on their phones with the speakers and they're not really picking up on the difference in the quality here. So it might be that if you're on this one, you go, do you know what? As I'm listening, I can't really hear a difference. I'm not going to be changing microphones. And that is absolutely fine. This is us just being honest and transparent and saying, this is what we're now using, and we want to let you know why, and we wanted to just pop these side by side. So if you're interested in getting one of these Shure microphones and you'd like to watch that setup video, do watch that over here. If you'd like to download that equipment list, then that is available in the description as well. And as ever, if you've enjoyed this, please give us a thumbs up and do make sure to subscribe so that we can keep videos like this coming out to you and you're not going to miss them. So hopefully that's helped you with the decision making. I know this can be really overwhelming. Any questions, please ask in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you in another video.